offset planes. Every corner out of phase, like the road forgot its chains. Micro margins razor thin, but my focus doesn't shake. If reality comes apart, I compensate. Control loop tighten inside, keep the waveform razor clean. All the chaos fades to black, only clarity between. No collapse, no compromise, no surrender to the split. I don't drift with broken space, I commit. Special Desync Field, pull me through where the world won't stay in view. Moon and rising, fierce and bright. I restore the fractured side. No delay inside my core. I correct forevermore. Special Desync Field, hold on tight. We command the slipping night. Heartbeat syncs against distortion. Phase noise whispering in my ear. If the planes begin to wander, I erase the fear. Protocol beneath my skin, timing razor sharp and wide. I don't fear the shifting depth. I write the night. Special Desync Field, pull me through where the world won't stay in view. Love and rising, blazing bright. I dominate the fractured side. No delay inside my core. I correct forevermore. Special Desync Field, hold on tight. We command the slipping night. Special Desync Field, burning true. Every pulse is cutting through. No retreat, no random spin. Only forward, only in. Special Desync Field, feel it right. I control the neon night. Apex spiral. Cold sparks skip off the overpass rail. The entry tightens thin and pale. I catch the pull before it starts to spread. Set the answer 1 feet ahead. Apex spiral when the white bars shear. Night cut focus hard and clear. Reload tremor split then reappear. I cut the false straw before it pulls me near. Short sharp signals strike the air. I guide the motion through the pressure there. The side glass flashes in broken chrome. The front end dips and finds its home. Traction wakes at the painted seam. I shave the pull to a leaner stream. The yacht comes back with a muted drag, so I enter first and kill the lag. Tunnel shimmer throws the near and far. Still I keep the inner mark where the markers are. Cross wind leans on the outer side. I snap the angle, then let it glide. Tick, cut, snap, nap, lock. Flashlight static on the midnight trim. A fine vibration wakes within. Blue white strips from the concrete crown. I bleed the pressure and smooth it down. Ghosts and mockers drift beyond the lane. But I keep the trace through silver rain. Each apex opens thin then late. So I preload balance before the weight. False cues gather then split apart. I hold one answer at the center heart. Near light steer while far light swim. Timing drops then gathers in. One breath reset, one pulse reframe. I cut the bend through the tunnel flame. Apex spiral, watch the pattern hold. Fine inputs turn precise and cold. Overdrive clarity strips the blue. I keep the edge till the line comes through. Last apex opens tight and clear. The final spray unthreads behind the wheel. Apex spiral. make you spark, then lose their sway. One breath, reset, one pulse, reframe. I carve the arc through the tunnel flame. Entropy gate, watch the signal stay true. Macro corrections pushing through. Overdrive clarity cutting the blue. I keep the edge where the night breaks through. Last apex opens narrow and clear. The road resolves and the signal is here. Raincoat flickers across the glass. Sodium pulses rushing past. Slip Rachel breathing at corner entry. I trim the torque and keep it steady. Y'all rate whisper returns delayed, but the motion holds where the move is made. Tunnel glare bends near and far. Depth slips wrong, but I track the mark. Crosswind pressure on the quarter skin. I ease the angle and settle in. Signals scatter through the rain. Steering fear returns again. If the road dissolves in silver haze, I keep one trace through the shifting phase. Helm and residual field when the road lights sway. Night edge focus cuts the gray. Rear load echoes twist then fade away. I cancel the wrong turn before it can stay. Lines converge in a burst of glare. I guide the motion through shifting air. Tick, sort, snap, align. Radio static threads the cabin trim. Overpass pulses cut silver thin. A faint vibration wakes the rail. I place the notch and the tremors pale. Ghosted lane cues slide and bend. Still the steering trace will never end. Puddles scatter fractured signs. I keep the motion inside the lines. Every apex opens tight and late. So I preload the steering state. False edges shimmer then fade away. Lane cues spark then lose their sway. One breath reset, one pulse reframe. I carve the arc through the tunnel flame. Calm and residual field, watch the signal stay true. Micro corrections pushing through. Overdrive vibration starts within. Blue-white flashes skim the concrete skin. I bleed the pressure and draw it in. Ghosted markers drift beyond the lane, but I keep the trace through silver rain. Each apex opens thin, then laid, so I preload balance before the wave. False cues gather, then shear apart. I hold one answer at the center heart. Near lights tear while far lights swim. Timing drops, then gathers in. One breath reset, one pulse reframe. I cut the bend through the tunnel. Like with Loom, watch the pattern stay true. Silent responses carry through. Overdrive clarity, Paris of blue. I keep the edge while the night cuts through. Last apex opens tight and clear. The wet horizon slips behind my mirrors. Behind my mirrors. Cold white scatter across the dash. The corner tightens in a silver flash. I catch the load before the lake cue lands. Set the answer steady in my hands. Residual vault when the white lines shear. Night cut focus pulling clear. Reload pulses split then reappear. I break the false draw before it comes near. Angles narrow in a vapor blaze. I guide the motion through unstable space. Tunnel shimmer drags the outside wide. The front end settles through the slide. Traction wakes at the painted seam. I ease the pull to a finer stream. Y'all comes back with a muted lag, so I answer first and cut the drag. Blue reflections stretch the near and far. Still I keep the entry where the markers are. Crosswind presses on the quarter side. I smooth the angle and fold it inside. Tick, red, snap, set. Dash light static on a midnight seam. A faint vibration splits the beam. Ghosted markers drift beyond the lane, but I keep the trace through silver rain. Each apex opens thin and late, so I preload balance before the wait. False cues gather then peel apart. I hold one answer at the center heart. Glass blue flashes sweep the overpass skin. I bleed the pressure and settle in. Near lights tear while far lights swim. Timing drops, then gathers in. One breath reset, one pulse reframing. I cut the bend through the tunnel flame. Residual vault, watch the pattern stay clean. Silent inputs locked between. Overdrive clarity threads the blue. I keep the edge till the line comes through. Last apex opens tight and bright. The roadway settles in a single Bloom. Amber streaks below across the lane. The rear steps out, then grips again. Traction wakes at the entry paint. I ease the pull till the drift grows faint. Yaw comes back with the softened drag, so I answer first and cut the lag. Tunnel shimmer folds in near and far. Still I keep the inside where the markers are. Crosswind leans on the outer side. I smooth the angle through the slide. Depth turns thin in a silver flare. Steering truth cuts clean stops, then gathers in one breath, reset, one pulse, reframe. I got the bend through the tunnel flame. Signal blue, watch the pattern stay true. Fine responses carry through. Overdrive clarity burns the blue. I keep the edge while the night cuts through. Last apex opens tight and clear. The city thins to sparks behind my wheels. Blue-white pulses cut the rain. Near cues drift then lock again. Rear low timing slips one beat, so I settle the line before the heat. Vector phase corridor when the road lines sway. Night edge focus clears the gray. Rear load signals bend and fall away. I cancel the roll turn before it can stay. Lines converge in a flash of glare. I guide the motion through shifting air. Raincoat trembling on the windshield seam. Sodium strobes fracture the beam. Slip ratio breathing at corner entry. I trim the torque and keep it steady. Y'all rate whisper with a late return. I answer early before the sidewalls burn. Tunnel glare bends near and far. Depth slips wrong, but I track the mark. Crosswind pressure on the quarter skin. I ease the angle and settle in. Tick, sword, snap, align. Radio static threads the cabin trim. Overpass pulses cut silver thin. A faint vibration wakes the rail. I place the notch and the tremors pale. Ghosted lane cues slide and bend. Still the steering trace will never end. Puddles scatter fractured signs. I keep the motion inside the lines. Every apex opens tight and late. So I preload the steering state. False edges shimmer then fade away. Late cues spark then lose their sway. One breath, reset. One pulse, refrain. I carve the arc through the tunnel flame. Vector phase corridor, watch the signal stay true. Micro corrections pushing through. Overdrive clarity, cutting the blue. I keep the edge where the night breaks through. Last apex opens narrow and clear. The road resolves and the signal is here. I on the wheel. Breath controlled, pulse refined. I can feel the state convert in my mind. Sensors fuse and filters bite, static thinning into truth. When the reference starts to bend, I stay smooth. Closed loop pressure rising hard, traction riding in a tone. I compress the wandering phase to one. Asymptote steering code, lock it in. Cut the noise beneath my skin. Momentum tightening, fierce and clean. Nothing drifting in between. Every offset finds its place. I reframe the error space. Asymptote steering code, stay aligned. I keep the line defined. Street lights smear to silver bands, mirror chrome and salted glare. Every corner draws a test, thin as wire in the air. Micro margins razor thin, but my focus doesn't shake. If the rear begins to float, I compensate. Heartbeat steady, signal cold, residuals falling away. If the loop begins to ring, I won't sway. Protocol beneath my skin counts the drift I won't allow. I collapse the wandering state here and now. Asymptote steering code, hold it tight. All parameters ignite. Momentum blazing, sharp and clean. Nothing random in between. Coherence locked, the choice is done. Every pathway into one. Asymptote steering code, stay aligned. I leave the limit stable. Cross spectrum lock, pull it tight, turn the ripple into right, more momentum tightening, razor clean. Nothing drifting in between, every overtone aligned, all the echoes reassigned. Cross spectrum lock, stay precise, I shape the edge in real time. Rain light splinters on the hood, midnight June to tungsten blue. Guardrails stretched to silent lines, every reference cutting through. Hands are steady, breath is calm, pulse aligned to measure time. I can read the hidden high notics in my mind. Signal stacking fast and clean, noise collapses into form. When the spectrum starts to swell, I don't warm. Phase coherence snapping tight, gain restraint before it grows. I compress the restless surge to compose. Cross spectrum lock, pull it tight, turn the ripple into right line, main so tightening, razor clean. Nothing drifting in between, every overtone aligned, all the echoes reassigned. Cross spectrum lock, stay precise, I shape the edge in real time. Street lights smear to silver bands, mirror chrome and salted glare. Every corner draws a test, thin as wire in the air. Micro margins razor thin, but my focus doesn't shake. If the rear begins to float, I compensate. Heartbeat steady, signal cold, residuals fall like ash. If the loop begins to ring, I don't crash. Protocol beneath my skin counts the spread I won't between. Coherence lock, the choice is done. Every pathway into one. Cross spectrum lock, stay precise. The waveform obeys my will. Cross spectrum lock, stay precise. The waveform obeys my will. Rainlight stitches on the hood, midnight tuned to tungsten blue. Street lines narrowing to rails, every reference cutting true. Hands are steady on the wheel, breath measured, pulse refined. I can feel the control law in my mind. Inputs landing sharp and clean, noise dissolving into form. When the boundary starts to shift, I stay warm. Close the gap, reduce the lag, turn the drift into a sign. All the vectors settle forward in line. Derivative kick, hit and fade. Fast correction, perfectly made. More weight, some tightening, razor clean. Nothing drifting in between. Every tremor turned to guide. I stabilize the edge with pride. Derivative kick, stay precise. I correct in real time. Guardrail smeared to silver bands, mirror chrome and salted glare. Every corner draws a test, thin as wire in the air. Micro margins razor thin, but my focus doesn't shake. If the rear begins to float, I compensate. Sensor stacking, phase align, coherence taking full command. When the pressure wants to spike, I understand. Clamp the surge, release the smooth, keep the system undefined. All the chaos falls to order on time. Derivative kick, hit and fade. Fast correction, perfectly made. No makes and tightening, razor clean. Nothing drifting in between. strong. Every mile proves me wrong till the sky begins to glow. I maintain this endless flow. Keep the pressure, don't release. All the doubt has found its peace. All the night with me. Keep the pressure. Phase noise quarantine, hold it tight. I isolate the broken light. Momentum tightening, clean and bright. I compress the depth of night. Every perturbation sealed, every weakness forced to yield. Phase noise quarantine, stay confined. I stabilize the neon breathing through the rain. Midnight tuned to violet steel. Street lines flickered into grids. Every reference sharp and real. Hands are steady on the wheel. Breath measured, pulse refined. All the chaos fades behind the line. Feedback settling into calm. Scattered, draining into form. When the margin hits the mark, I don't brace, I transform. Crossing into governed space where deviation can persist. Every option fused ahead, no list. Phase noise quarantine, hold it tight. I isolate the broken light. Momentum tightening, clean and bright. I compress the depth of night. Every perturbation sealed, every weakness forced to yield. Phase noise quarantine, stay confined. I stabilize the street lights stretched to measured beams. Mirror chrome and focus streams. Every corner foreseeable, nothing random in between. Micro margins razor thin, but my focus doesn't shake. If the balance tilts at all, I compensate. Heartbeat steady, signal cold, residuals falling away. If the waveform starts to fray, I don't sway. Protocol beneath my skin, calculation burning wide. I don't chase the shift in dark, I set the night. Phase noise quarantine, seal it fast. Future fixed beyond the past. Momentum blazing, fierce and clean. Nothing drifting in between. Coherence locked, the choice is done. Every pathway into one. Phase noise quarantine, hold the line. I keep the final Quaternion drift control, lock it tight, rotate the chaos into right. Momentum sharpening, razor clean, nothing drifting in between. Every axis reconciled, every error undefiled. Quaternion drift control, stay precise, I stabilize in real time. Rain light stitches on the hood, midnight tuned to titanium blue. Guardrails stretched to silent lines, every reference cutting through. Hands all steady on the wheel, breath measured, pulse refined. I can feel the frame transform in my mind. Signal stacking sharp and clean, noise collapses into form. When the attitude begins to slip, I don't warm. Crossing into governed space, where small angles multiply. I constrain the hidden rotation. keep it tight, fold the error out of sight. Momentum sharp and fierce and clean. Nothing drifting in between, every ripple forced to heal. I decide what's real. Residual envelope, stay aligned. I stabilize the line. Rain light stitches on the hood, midnight tune to chromium blue. Guardrails stretching into lines, every reference cutting through. Hands are steady on the wheel, breath control, pulse refined. I can feel the state converge in my mind. Signal stacking sharp and clean, static thinning into form. When the boundary starts to shift, I stay warm. Trim the lag, shape the rise, keep the overshoot confined. Every micro error answered, recombined. Residual envelope, keep it tight, fold the error out of sight. Moment sharpening, fierce and clean. Nothing drifting in between, every ripple forced to heal. I decide what's real. Residual envelope, stay aligned. I stabilize the line. Street lights smeared to silver bands, mirror chrome and salted glare. Every corner draws a test, thin as wire in the air. Micro margins razor thin, but my focus doesn't shake. If the rear begins to float, I compensate. Pressurizing, clean and hard, contact speaking through the rain. If the wobble wants to grow, I restrain. Clamp the surge, release it smooth, keep the face from breaking free. All the motion stays coherent under me. Residual envelope, keep it tight, fold the error out of sight. Momentum sharpening, fierce and clean. Nothing drifting in between, every ripple forced to heal. I decide what's real. Residual envelope, stay aligned. I stabilize the line. Heartbeat steady, signal cold, residuals falling away. If the loop begins to ring, I won't sway. Protocol beneath my skin counts the drift I won't allow. I compress the wandering state. Here and now. Residual envelope, seal it fast. Future fixed beyond the past. Momentum blazing sharp and clean. Nothing random in between. Coherence locked, the choice is done. Every pathway into one. Residual envelope, stay aligned. The system stays coherent. Sensor fusion, lock it tight. Many eyes become one side. Momentum tightening, clean and bright. I compress the depth of night. Every channel verified. Nothing left to override. Sensor fusion, stay defined. I stabilize the line. Neon rain on tempered vector bloom. Timing vector bloom when the roll lines sway. A red line focus never fades away. Rear load echo split then drift to gray. I cut the false turn before it can stay. Hold the arc where the margins flare. I pull the true path from fractured air. Raincoat sliding on the windshield seam. Blue-white strobes fracture the beam. Slip right, she'll breathe in a corner entry. I trim the torque and keep it steady. Yeah, alright, murmur with a delayed return. I answer early before the sidewalls burn. Tunnel glare bends near and far. Depth runs wrong, but I track the mark. Crosswind pressure on the quarter skin. I ease the angle and settle in. Twists arrive in a staggered chain. Steering feel lags, then snaps again. If the road state tears in pressure haze, I lock one trace through the broken phase. Timing vector bloom when the road lights sway. Red line focus never fades away. Rear load echo split then drift to gray. I cut the false turn before it can stay. Hold the arc where the margins flare. I pull the true path from fractured air. Tick, sword, snap, come in. Radio static threads the cabin trim. Overpass flashes cut blue-white thin. A faint ring wakes in the chassis rail. I place the notch and the tremors fail. Ghosted link cues drift side to side. I keep the vector and let them slide. Puddles scatter every passing sign. I keep the hard line inside the line. Every apex opens late then thin. So I preload the state before turning. False edges bloom then peel away. Lake hues spark then lose their sway. One breath reset, one pulse reframe. I pin the state through the tunnel blaze and cut the bend through the broken phase. Timing vector bloom, watch me hold it true. Micro corrections cutting through. Overdrive clarity in fractured blue. I keep the edge where the night breaks through. Last apex opens, narrow severe. I leave the band with the signal clear. Yeah, observer, read the hidden spin. When the rear goes light, I pull it in. Red line focus with a carbon grid. I catch the